Guys, from now until Christmas, big discounts and super bargains. Paint up to 25% off. 20% off UPVC French windows. 10% off tiles. Decorative hardboard. 1,999. Bargains on slat wall, form ply, dress ply, lumber, steel, and lots more. Open every Sunday until Christmas. 195 Hackleburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New budget supplies.
He's always there for me. Yeah.
Yes. This is Rebel Radio. Welcome, my viewers and listeners, to Rebel Radio, coming to you live from our studios in Rockfort. And today, right now, we have online Dr. Reverend Garnet Roper. Reverend Roper, are you there? Hello, Reverend Roper.
Yes.
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 Right. And you said you wanted to, express some views today. Well, the platform is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about landlessness, right?
Yes.
Jamaica faces a serious problem of inequality. And one of the ways in which the inequality shows itself is with access to land and what land people live on. I see them every time they're correcting something. They make it harder for a little man. Now, when you make things harder for Jamaicans, they come back. It come back to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Once they had the National Stadium, some major match for free. When the gates were open, there was a significant number of people scaling the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And send police to go on and capture them. And the police, when they are button to brutalize the people. But Jamaicans find a way. So they don't have access to land. They find land and build their houses on it.
Yes.
Notice that? December 27th.
Right. But no, this problem of landlessness is related to the problem of criminal violence. Because the children who grew up in the shanty have less of a stake in the society and are more likely to break the rules.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
They grew up with a sense that this is not their society. Things that are here are not for them. But if on the other hand, we were to build communities that the poor can access. You know, we'll create a more harmonious society, the more equitable.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And them and their children can live with dignity.
Mm-hmm.
So this problem of land is key to how Jamaica sees itself.
Yes.
Get it.
You're aware some noise is in your background now, River.
All right. Yeah. Well, you could go and take a look at community. where the land was not planned. The land was planned to exclude them all over the country.
Land
The
was-
community with violence, those are the community with underperforming schools, the community with all kind of burglary and dishonesty around it. So we have to create communities for the people for their dignity. Keep housing as a human right. Of course, land is not only about housing. No. It's about production as well.
Your background is very noisy, Rev. It is interfering with the transmission.
But it's not my background though.
It's not,
I'm hearing the noise on the radio.
it's not your background?
The noise I'm hearing
Yeah.
is noise in the system broadcasting.
I don't know that. Where we are, there's no noise. I am talking to you from the studio.
Yeah, but I hear noise on the line, and I have nobody talking around me. Or we are in a car driving.
Anyway. Go ahead. Go ahead. Listen, Rev, we have to let us take a break and let you see if you can clear up your background. There's too much noise. Yeah. This is Rebel Radio.
All right.
We're talking to the Reverend Garnet Roper. Just let us take a break and then we rejoin you shortly.
No power.
When you're weary and feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will drive them home. Oh, well, yeah, I'm on your side. Oh, when times get
All road leads to new budget supplies. From now until Christmas, big discounts and super bargains. Paid up to 25% off. 20% off UPVC French windows. 10% off tiles. Decorative hardboard. $1,999. Bargains on slat wall, form ply, dress ply, lumber, steel, and lots more. Open every Sunday until Christmas. 195 Hackleburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New budget supplies. Always the best prices.
I will lay me down when you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. Again, I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, silver bird sailed on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Lord, if you need a friend, I'm sailing right me like a breeze over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a breeze over troubled water. I will ease your mind like a breeze over troubled water. I will ease your not a broken vessel that God can't make. The thief was down to his last breath, hanging there and can't breathe. When he turned to the master and said, Lord have mercy on me, he was just a broken vessel. Then Jesus washed away his sins, 'cause there's not a broken vessel that God can make. Oh, there's not a broken vessel God can't make. Yeah. When the whole world turns its back on you, Jesus will be your friend. He will pick up all the pieces time and time again, 'cause there's not a broken vessel that God can't make. Lord Almighty, Jesus sees the potter and we are just the clay. And even when the vessel is broken, he won't throw the clay away. Bring him all of your problems, your troubles and your sin, 'cause there's not a broken vessel Almighty God can make. Yeah, yeah. There's not a broken vessel that God can make. Yeah, yeah. When the whole world turns its back on you, Jesus will always be your friend. He will pick up all the pieces time and time again, 'cause there's not a broken vessel that God can't make. Yeah, yeah. There's not a broken vessel that God can make. Yeah, yeah. When the whole world turns its back on you, Jesus will always be your friend. He will pick up all the pieces time and time again. even walking without you holding my hand. I thought number one would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I thought of myself as a mighty big man, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. The mountain's too high and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stay. That I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Help me, Jesus. Ah, yeah. Oh, Lord, yeah. Oh, yeah. I thank God I made Jesus my one and all. From now on this day, I'm surely gonna call. And if I don't trust Him, I'd be less than a man. 'Cause I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Oh Lord, can't even walk without you holding my hand. The mountain's too high and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stay. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus, for all you have done for me right now. You've been so good to me. I thought number one would surely be me. I thought I could be what I wanted to be. I thought of myself as a mighty big man, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Like me, Father, can't even walk without you holding my hand. The mountain is too high and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stay. Can't even walk without you holding my hand. Lord have mercy, can't even walk without you holding my hand. The mountain's too high and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I've learned to stay. Can't even walk without you holding my hand.
God may I deal with that. So what I want, my friend George Brooks?
Why, Richard Steven, with us there I give the Almighty praises.
And the best thing that, 'cause when I remember just where I am coming from,
To where I'm standing now,
fell to my knees in praise of your name.
thanking you, Lord, every step of the way.
Oh, Father, you know I love you.
You touch my heart, my soul, with your mercy.
I thank you, my Lord, for all you've done for me. You blessed my life in so many ways. No, I will never, ever leave you.
I won't be ungrateful to you, my Lord.
shake her hand. She's waiting now for me in heaven's open door. And I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven is not my home, then Lord, what will I do? The angels beckon me from heaven's open door. And I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Hallelujah. Just over in glory land, we'll live eternally. The saints on every hand are shouting victory. Their songs of sweetest praise drift back from heaven's shore. And I can't feel at home in this world anymore. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven is not my home, then Lord, what will I do? The angels beckon me from heaven's open door. And I can't feel at home in this world anymore. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, with the trumpet call of God. And the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will be with the Lord forever. Some glad morning, when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I will fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I will fly away. When the shadows of this life is flown, I'll fly away. Like a bird from prison bars is flown, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I will fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I will fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I will fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I will fly away. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back. Yes, I want to see my Jesus someday. I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back. Yeah, I want to see my Jesus someday. Yeah, I've got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I want to see my Jesus someday. My Lord, my made up, and I won't turn back. Yeah, I want to see my Jesus someday. Jesus' name so sweet, Emmanuel name so sweet. Step up, Jesus' name so sweet, Emmanuel name so sweet. I say every time me rock up on Jesus, Jesus' name so sweet. Man, say every time me rock up on Jesus, Jesus' name so sweet. Say Jesus' name so sweet, Emmanuel, Emmanuel name so sweet. Talk about Jesus' name so sweet, Emmanuel name so sweet. Everybody rocking. Every time me rock up on Jesus, Jesus' name so sweet. Sing it now. Every time me rock up on Jesus, Jesus' name so sweet. Hear me now. You can tell the world about this.
The station with the artist station with the artist.
Shensia with a message to you from myself and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Shen Yangs, everyone say wear a mask, where the numbers drop. I don't want COVID, lay you down flat. Nose and mouth, you fi cover up that. Oh, 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 oh. Sanitize or get hospitalized. Fight the virus, then fight for your life, yeah. Nobody talk about say you no response no more. Don't be reckless, cause your test say you're not happy. You can still get the virus from somebody. Don't be reckless, cause your test say you're not happy. You can still get the virus. So keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive. Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, but go on with it.
Are you kidding me?
To us, yeah. So we are coming here with a force, yeah. Blessings we are reap and we coursing on full. Oh, we not rise and boast. Yeah, we give thanks like we need it the most. We have to give thanks like we really supposed to be thankful. Blessings all for my life and my thank God for the journey, the earnings, not just for the plus. And gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast for the friends we take off every load. One time did sit down in a class and we poured then only said the road and we go on with the road. Third form, me say me try a thing. And you know it formed up to be a fire thing. Now up on stage with chronic say I sing. Yeah, see me all diggy soon get the higher ring. Like hello brother, him say I just shot ya. Saw your poster, spectacular photo. Keep it burning, yes, that's the motto. If me the butter pass through your shot, we can't ball in a life, man. Me have to thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah, and gratitude is a must. Yeah, me see blessings fall by my right hand. But I toast to the friends we take off every load. One time did sit down in a class and we poured then only said the road and we go on with it, go on with it. Just show our blessings upon me and send me to tell them a story. Just show our blessings upon me. And that's how I made to give him the glory. I'm in delighted. Jah knows I'm a passion ignited. Got the music.
Yes. And today is Monday, you know, and it's time for our program, Be Sure. You know, Be Sure is a program that is designed to get listeners and viewers on the ball, for them to prepare for any eventuality. We have with us our usual guest, Mr. Lloyd Brim. Mr. Brim, are you there?
Yes, man, I'm here.
Yes. So as I said, we are on air and with our usual program. And you know something, Lloydie, that struck me over the weekend is the fact that I saw where the number of persons killed in traffic accidents this year so far has reached 450. And I know that
Yes, go ahead.
I said I observed that the number of persons killed on our roads since the start of the year.
Go ahead, Desmond.
Yeah. Are you hearing me? Brim, are you hearing me?
Go ahead.
Yes.
I'm here.
Okay. So I'm saying that I observed that the number of persons killed on the road since the start of the year has reached 450. And I know that insurance...
I am here, sir.
Yes. Are you hearing me? Lady? Mr. Brim, he's not hearing me. Mr. Brim. I don't know what is happening.
Music.
Blast, blast, way too blast, 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 blast. Yes, I'm the blast. Are you kidding me?
On the news, me in my prime, on the crime with the dollar sign, money for my mind. Summon on the time for spend. I'm a style, put me on the map, me up on the top. I'm in name, coffee swag a lot. Them a chat me on the time for them. Time for them. Yes, I'm wake up. Yeah, money make and I make up. Yeah. Me go straight for the paper. Yeah, tell you wait, see you later. Mr. Pot, everybody look like what? Mr. First, them say how you look like that. I top every cranny, every nook. I'm a stick of every chicken in the book. Everything we do, give thanks. Tell them what we do. Load the L, take the W. One thing they out there for you. And it now come if you no go. Everything we do, give thanks. Tell them what we do. Load the L, take the W. One thing they out there for you. And it now come if you no go. On the news, me in my prime, on the crime with the dollar sign, money for my mind. Someone on the time to spend. Time to spend. I'ma start, put me on the map, with the on the top. I'm in name, coffee swag a lot. Them a jumping on the time for them. Time for them.
Everything is how they call plush. The baby got a body that I swear I won't touch. Pull it out, let her ride it, girl, you know I want lust. I got it inside that I won't stop, I'm in a rush. I eat that like lunch, we keep it on hush. Box you up in his truck, I love to see you blush. You shopping when you land, so you bought a product clutch. We got a lot of bucks, cash longer than a bus. We some warriors, looking at your heart through the cardio. Beyonce the top of the aria. She got locked, Rastafari. Me and my walk one at the party, we don't feel nothing, we the hardest, Spending cash for fun, get us all a pass. She won't go to wanna go to real.
They pin her back and then she pull out a pound. My baby ever got the high grade. Spliff in her mouth. Gauge up the chalice and say, shall we blaze hell, yeah. Out of many, she alone get the crown. Chronic from Spanish Town. Don't think I fit in at this party. Everyone got so much things to say. Right now, me just at one with the vibes and don't watch nobody. Cause I'm only here to spend the night with you anyway. I don't care when I'm with my baby, yeah. All the bad vibes disappear. She kick off the high heels, no, she not free nobody. Happy times and I got no sad nights when I'm with my baby, yeah. And I don't care, cause you just own it. You can take me anywhere, baby. She touched me softly, then we start squeeze her body. Everything I only nice times when I'm with my baby, yeah.
Bad night, cause I never me and you started. But me, I go pull up on you shortly. Evidently, me miss your body. Presently, me see you hardly. Stand up by my body and guard me. Oh, yeah, always, yeah. My God, see you choose me. You know, see you feel like Susie. And you make me life coming like movie. Me know I see your face screwed up with you. So make me forget this party. I'd rather be booed up with you, glued up to you. I got overdue love for you, plus new stuff to do. I love you like Keisha K, I love goo up. So woo, you know why? Cause I don't care when I'm with my baby, yeah. All the bad things disappear.
She kick off the high heels, no, she not free nobody. Happy times and I got no sad nights when I'm with my baby, yeah.
Yes. Back with our insurance salesman, Lloyd Brim. Lloyd, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Right. So I was saying to you that over the weekend I read in the papers where the number of persons killed on our roads since the start of the year has reached 450. And right away I said, but you know, this is really, it is frightening. And I just imagine asking myself, what role insurance companies have to play in this? When, I mean, there must be in some of these cases where insurance are going to be called upon to address, to pay out money. Am I right with that?
Well, the first thing, Desmond, the companies don't have to worry because whatever they are called upon to pay cannot exceed the provisions made by the insured people who might have died in the number.
Yes.
Just recently, you might have seen in the paper about a reinsurer that is contemplating pulling up stumps in Jamaica and elsewhere.
Yes.
And the reinsurers are the people who ensure that whatever lawful claim comes before the insurance companies, they are in a position to pay.
Mm.
So the companies don't really have to worry.
Yes, yes.
About claims.
And
claims don't share the companies. They are not afraid of claims. In fact, they're actually set up to pay claims.
Yes. And then just last week, I also saw another report in the papers where the reinsurers were asking for higher rates, and the suggestion there is if they can't get higher rates, then they might pull out. Did you see that report?
Yes, I read it.
Yes.
I read it.
So what are the implications for the local insurance companies?
Well, that's a question for the bigger guys who steer the ship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's for them. But where I sit, the company has a service that it must use.
Yeah.
And if one provider is out, then there are many other providers who will be happy to come in to fill the slot. Nature does not allow a vacuum.
Yes.
So there can be no vacuum here. It will be filled, I am sure.
Right, right. Okay. Well, you know, all of these happenings are just part of what we face, and it is also an indication as to why we should try to be sure, because let me just put it this way: life is not a straight line. So it is important for us to have something to take care of what we did not plan for.
Yes, that's fine. And as you said so many times, in order to be sure, you need to be informed. You need to sit with the agent or the advisor and put a plan in place. So, of the number of people killed in these accidents, the insurance company don't have to worry because it is not going to pay out on any life that was not insured.
Yes, yes.
Each and every life that is insured, provision is in place to meet any claim that arise from as a result of death, accident, any provision that the insurance policy covers.
Yes.
There have been difficulty in meeting the clients or the estates claim for payment.
Right.
No such thing exists in the industry. Industry is sound, financially sound, and you have regulatory agencies that see to it that policies are not issued for which provision is not made to cover should a claim arise. And the reinsurers are a key part of that aspect of it.
Yes. In previous discussion, we spoke about investment policies, but you know, could you just tell our listeners some more about how they can invest money on insurance?
All right. As I said so many times, and I don't mind saying it again, the insurance industry is a big sector of the economy where it concerns finance, because the companies invest in real estate, the companies invest in the stock market, the companies invest in key areas of the economy. So the companies are a part of the driving force that keeps the economy growing, and it does that by investing in all of these different areas, and in these areas employment is generated and other services are needed. So the insurance industry invests heavily in the economy, and this way they become a very important aspect of it. They become a very important aspect of the economy.
Yes.
When you as a individual buys into an investment type policy,
yes,
there are so many positives for you, the individual, because some investment funds, the size investment that they require for any person or institution to be in that scheme is usually a large sum. And collection, a combination of the small amounts by each different policy holder,
yes,
amount this figure, and it gives the policy holder a stake in an investment that by himself or herself they would not be able to access that type of investment fund.
Yes.
For example, like some companies you say have big warehouses that they rent. They don't own the warehouses. The investment companies use these as a source of income.
Yes.
To secure the growth of the pension funds and the stability and the long-term aspect of it, as far as the financing is concerned.
Yes.
So the policyholder needs to be educated as to the benefits that they have when there is access to these investment funds. And of course, as an individual, they could not have gotten in. They wouldn't have the amount of funds to be accepted in.
Yeah. So what just enlighten my listeners and viewers. A policyholder can buy a policy that offers some investment returns on it.
Yes, definitely.
Right. So
in fact, Desmond, let me just do this again, if I have done it before, to say that when you are doing your program, what your aim is, what your goal is the real thing behind what the advisor comes up with. For example, if you are somebody who like clean, you see these high-rise buildings,
yes,
and these platforms, and they clean in the glass and all this kind of stuff. You see the high tension wires, people have to be working on them. You see people who are in security, they carry firearms and they are like targets for lawbreakers and robbers and so on.
Yes.
It is different, you know. And the company also allows what we call riders. One such rider would be like waiver of premium. It means that if the life assured is injured in an accident and can no longer work, the company will, the waiver of premium will chip in, and this gives the company the responsibility to pay the premiums for the rest of the person.
Okay. Okay.
And people are not sometimes aware of these features. Again, dismemberment features.
Yes.
You get into an accident, and as a result, you lose a body part or the use of it. Those riders can cover that. Double indemnity and accident provisions.
Yeah.
Person has 10 million coverage and 5 million accidental death and dismemberment. Person dies, 10 million become due. Further check revealed that the death was due to an accident. Then the accidental amount of 5 or 3 or 4 or 10 million will be paid in addition.
Yes, yes, yes.
We have to have a discussion with the agent or the advisor to ensure that the package that the person had is suitable for their stage in life.
Okay.
People responsibilities. You have your parent, and if your parent die, you are responsible for that expense. The insurance companies have policies that suit that particular need. The insurance companies have investment provisions that you reach retirement, you pull in your different amounts of money, hanging here, hanging there. Maybe you have an apartment, you decide to sell it. Whatever. But you put together a sum of money. The insurance company have provisions where you can buy what you call an annuity. And that money is protected, and you can access it at a certain rate per month to keep hunger away, to keep suffering away, to keep you in a position where you can address your needs. And the medical needs are so much more when you get to that age.
Yes, yes.
You're right here. Let me tell you, Desmond, for you and for your listeners, the lifestyle that you live is also considered. Because if you're a smoker, there's a different rate for your insurance.
Yes.
Just like if you do a job that's dangerous, like I was just illustrating, it affects the premium that you pay. Now, not a smoker and a non-smoker. Just for illustration, let us say that the smoker's rate, the non-smoker's rate is 10,000 per month for the choice that they have made. The smoker's rate may be, let's just say, 14,000 for the same condition, the same coverage and everything.
Okay.
You see what it costs? $4,000 a month extra for the rest of your life, 15, 20, 25 years.
Yes.
So your health is important.
Oh, I see. I never understand that at all. So smokers, their rate per policy is higher than that of non-smokers.
Yes, is higher. And if you carry a firearm,
yes,
these things affect your premium. If you are like a firefighter, a police, a soldier,
yes,
a security, any security that you're in, All of these things we talk about, and these are things that affect the premium.
Okay. Okay.
And if you wish to do a more dangerous job than when you started, you need to inform the company.
Okay. Okay.
Don't tend to be like an electrician, for example. You have electrical problems, and instead of you get the licensed electrician, you put up a ladder and go up on the building top or on the light post or wherever and doing your own repairs. Is not advisable.
Okay. Okay. I see. Then the other thing now, sir, for persons with some of these, what you call now, uncurable.
Okay.
Like diseases which, like for example, diabetes and high blood pressure and those ailments. Tell us about how they go about acquiring insurance.
Well, the first thing, you have policies that you are required to do a medical for. You have policies that consider your medical state. Now, there are some that do not consider your medical state. For example, I was telling you how much it costs for somebody who is on dialysis. The facility that free dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
What we do, it costs about 1.8 million per year.
Yes.
And it is considered, it is labeled as free.
Mm-hmm.
You there?
Yes, I'm here.
It is labeled as free and it costs 1.8 million.
Yes.
You with me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, man. Go ahead.
So you imagine if it wasn't free, what it would cost.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But these dialysis patients can still be insured. No matter what state of health you are in, you can still be insured.
Okay. But am
I making it clear?
Yeah, yes, but I just want to know the premium would be higher.
Hello?
The premium for someone who is diagnosed with those kind of diseases would be higher.
Hello, you there, Desmond?
Yes. You're not hearing me? Hello?
You're hearing me clearly?
I'm hearing you clearly. I'm hearing you very clearly. But I'm asking you if the premium for persons diagnosed with these diseases, if those premiums are higher. Mr. Brim. Oh, look like we're having some issues with Mr. Brim, are you there? We're having some telephone issues with Mr. Brim. And I don't know why I'm not hearing him. He has gone. But he was telling us about the premiums, explaining to us how persons who... Hello? Hello? Mr. Brim? Let us go for a break while we try to recap.
So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me, I tell yourself it, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan, do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it. Go check your HIV status. Do it. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom. Coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random condom connect.
New budget supplies from now until Christmas. Big discounts and super bargains. Hey, up to 25% off. 20% off UPVC French windows. 10% off tiles. Decorative hardboard. 1,999. Bargains on slat wall, form ply, dress ply, lumber, steel, and lots more. Open every Sunday until Christmas. 195 Hackleburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New budget supplies.
Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact. Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact. Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact. Ever wanted to share what you know about a crime but were too afraid? At Crime Stop, we make it easy for you to report on crimes safely and 100% anonymously. All it takes is 4 simple steps. First, contact the tip line at 311 or visit www.crimestop.org or www.311tips.com. Then share what you know anonymously with one of our trained counselors. Any information related to criminal activity is accepted. We don't want to know your identity. We don't record calls or use star 69, and there is no way of tracing tips over the phone or online. You'll also be given a file number for your tip. Next, track the progress of your tip by calling our tip line at 311 and quoting your file number. Finally, if your tip leads to success, you will be eligible for a cash reward. Rewards will be paid out upon request through a trusted disbursement agency with verification process to ensure that your identity remains hidden. Share what you know anonymously. Contact
Jesus, Ebube, 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 DK. Hail my Jesus, Ebube, 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 DK. Hail my Jesus, Ebube, Ebube, come on, Ebube, DK. Hail my Jesus, Ebube, 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 DK. Searching for a miracle, but I found no one.
Welcome back to Rebel Radio, and we're talking about insurance. Be sure, talking about the measures that we need to put in place in order to that we'll be able to take care of eventualities. We have been Brim is Lyde, you are there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, we have been joined by Mark. Mark? Hello, Mark. Mark. Mark, are you there? Well, until Mark comes in, Brim. So you were explaining to our listeners and viewers, how some of the steps that we must all take in order to have ourselves prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I was making the point, I have made it a number of times before, that there are things that we cause on ourselves. And it must be clearly understood that all the conditions that are in the life insurance contract, they are all
Hello? Yes,
to be done.
Mark, just hold on there, Brim. Mark? Mr. Brissett? I heard him a while ago, but then...
He's probably trying to get on,
Yeah. Yes. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, lady.
I'm just saying, we want people to understand.
Yeah, yes. Mr. Brissett?
Yes.
Okay.
You're hearing me now?
Yes, we are hearing you now. We are hearing you now.
Good.
Yes. Lady, you want to, yes, continue, lady.
They were just saying that, the insurance industry and the health industry should really be supporting programs like the one you're putting on your station right now, because we are affected by a number of things, as I was saying before, like your lifestyle. Good?
Yes.
Whether you're a smoker, whether you're a non-smoker, whether you consume a lot of alcohol or whether you don't consume a lot of alcohol. In your job, what kind of tools you use?
Yes.
Are all these heavy equipment driving tractors and using some power tools to every danger that you are exposed to. The company wants to know so that the company can charge you the right rate. So it's important that the information that the Life Assured gives is true.
Yes.
And for the ones that don't require a medical examination, it is just the client's word. So if the client buys insurance, everything is going good, the company have 2 years. Within 2 years, if the company don't put up any objection, then you are through your woman drive.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not good to give false information knowingly, because that will affect the contract between the company and the Life Assured. It's not between the company and the advisor. It's between the company and the
Life Assured.
The Life Assured. And of all the responsibilities under a life insurance contract,
yes,
the Life Assured's only responsibility is to pay the premiums. And then, I mean, if you were in a dangerous job and you're no longer doing that job, come into the company and inform the company.
Yes.
They're going to reduce your premium to match the risk that you represent now.
Okay. Okay.
But these are not things that are just strewn all over the public media or the discussions that go on in the society.
Yes.
The insurance companies are always getting a bad name and getting a beating and so on because the conditions that the company is recognizing in its operation, many times the Life Assured give the wrong information.
Okay.
And that's not a safe thing to do.
Yeah. Mr. Brissett.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the program, sir. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. What what are some of the any new ideas, new responsibilities that you like persons who are planning to buy insurance? What are some of the things that they should look out for?
Well, number one, you need to identify exactly what it is, what the gaps are, what's the need that you're seeking to cover, what it is that you want to achieve at the end of the day. And the end of the day doesn't mean in terms of merely or solely death, but we do have investment opportunities. We have coverages that we can put in place, as we have mentioned before, as it relates to critical illnesses, your retirement, your children's education. So you need to identify.
Mr. Brissett?
I am not hearing Mr. Brissett.
I don't know. He left us a while ago. I don't know what happened. Mr. Brissett? Lady, you better come back because Mr.
Yes, I am here.
Yeah.
I didn't hear his comments, but the question you asked him was?
The question I asked was, what are some of the things that persons who are planning to buy insurance, what are some of the things that they should look out for? And
well, the first and most important thing is to get yourself a competent advisor.
Yes.
The second really critical thing is to state clearly what your objectives are. Why are you buying this? Why do you want life insurance?
Yes.
Have that clear in your mind. And also look at your budget and decide that, okay, I am able to comfortably pay $8,000, $15,000, or $3,000 per month.
Mm-hmm.
And sit down with the advisor now to say exactly what you want.
Yes, yes.
Because sometimes people have false notions about what insurance can do and what areas insurance cover and so on. I have had the experience of sitting in customer service. A client came in and the client was really in a bad way, aggressive and all that, and saying, oh, our friend sold her insurance policy and our friend gone and she want back her money and she don't know what and what and what, and calm her down. And when the status of the policy, inclusive of how much money was available to the client took out her cell phone and called her friend and said to her friend, you know, you better come down here now, come buy one insurance for yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Because me you're custodian and custodian. And if you see what is on my policy, you would be amazed.
Okay.
The man told me such a good policy. Come get one for yourself. Yeah, you're a friend.
Yes.
You can't have and you don't have.
Yes.
The same person who was so irate, it took quite a bit to settle the person down.
Right, right.
Yeah. That's when they realized what they had. And they came to discontinue it and abuse the staff and really show the worst side. And they apologized.
Mm-hmm.
So programs like these, I keep saying, are what is required. Yes, what is required for us in the life insurance industry.
Yeah. Wonder if we have about Mr.
To improve, to inform people as to what the real benefits are.
Just hold a second, lady.
No problem.
Let me see if we have Mr. Brissett. No, okay, we don't have him. But so, Mr. Brim, now explain for me. Here it is. I bought a policy. When I bought the policy, I had no health problems. But down the road, I developed health problems. Now, how do the policy take care of that?
All right. Listen, what you bought is the important issue. If you bought a policy that covers critical illness, then that policy is aimed at providing you with some support if you ever get diagnosed with any one of these conditions. In fact, you have a few policies that if you never make a claim and the policy expires like say, at age 75 and you never ever make a claim, all the premiums that you have paid is refunded to you.
Okay.
So it's about information. It's about getting to the experienced agent and have that discussion. There are so many other factors that I could mention, you know?
Like for example?
For example, when you have an insurance policy, if you use it to secure a loan, then it means that claim time comes, the balance on that loan is deducted from the payment. If you have, there was a case some long time ago where this guy was married. Of course, he left his house and got into a different relationship. And he went and he changed the name on the policy from his wife to the new person. He died, the new person went ahead and collected the proceeds of the policy. And then later on, the wife turned up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know somebody made a mistake.
So how was that settled?
These are legal issues, but from memory,
yes.
company have to pay twice.
Oh.
That will never happen again.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So we have to really understand what it is about and what we aim to achieve by having the policy.
Mm-hmm.
As an advisor, I am very reluctant to write somebody a policy, especially people who do certain type of work, without including accidental dismemberment and waiver of premium.
Yes.
Because people want to reduce their premium as much as possible and get the maximum for the money by leaving off essential provisions.
Okay.
So if you are with the right agent, they are not going to allow you to leave off those provisions. Because we don't know what is around the corner. And that's the reason why the insurance industry exists. For people to be sure that in certain situations, provision will be made. People ask me all kind of questions, you know. And like one question I am asked from time to time, my husband have an insurance policy, or my wife, and I am paying the premium person. And when the person dies, who's going to continue paying the premium? There's no need for any further premium.
Okay.
But people say they're not buying because when the person died, they still have to continue paying. All kind of things that are just not the fact.
Okay.
To get the facts and to be sure you're getting the correct facts. Listen to programs like this one, whose purpose is to spread the information, whose purpose is to inform people. And no matter how much money you have, you should still have insurance. I tell you, I don't know how much time I have, but let me share this video.
Yes.
You have an insurance policy and you come to retirement. The policy is not, you don't reach the age where the policy terminates. You have some monies on the policy. A lot of people don't seek any advice, they just come in and surrender the policy. Say they stop working and they can't afford to pay. But guess what?
Yes.
You have your children. They are the beneficiaries on the policy. You can take off the investment part of the policy and put that away for your own sustenance. And the children or your wife or whomever continue to pay the premium.
Okay.
Because if you die before them, and it's, let's say, a $10 million policy, $20 million policy. If your children pay the premium for 5, 6, 8, 10 years, and then you die, and they collect that 20 or 30 or whatever million, they could not have saved that in that short space of time, you know.
Yes, yes.
So I'm talking about advice.
Yes.
I'm talking about sitting with experienced people. I'm talking about take the approach that you will be able to say, I am sure in such an event, this will be what will happen. That gives you a peace of mind. And that is what a good insurance program is about.
Okay.
Giving you a peace of mind that in such and such an event, things will be okay.
Okay.
Don't get into the system where people have a whole herd of cow and say that is them security and them pension and them. Because, I mean, once you are sick and can't attend to them effectively, you know what will happen? Some stray and some stray into the wrong direction and the wrong person's ear. It's not secure enough.
Okay.
It is just not secure enough, and people need to know. And the statistics that we have, remember that some of these statistics are just the official, but people are doing their own thing.
Yes.
As a financial advisor, we need to pay attention.
Okay.
People do all kind of things in the unofficial system, and these don't get recorded and don't get captured.
On that note, that is where we are going to end this week's program, Mr. Brim. I want to thank you very much for coming on and to pass on information to our listeners and viewers. And be sure, want you to, our listeners and viewers, to know that they must tune into this program next Monday at 3 p.m.
Is it on your list, Desmond, that if they have questions, anything they're not sure about, they can direct the questions to you?
Okay.
And we take care of it for them. Give them the answer.
All right. We are going to make that, put in that provisions.
Okay,
so,
sir.
Until next week, thank you, Mr. Brim.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to you and your listeners.
Right. And as I said, next week, make sure that you tune in to Be Sure so that you can be armed with all the information necessary to take care, to put in the necessary plans in place just to take care of any eventuality. This is Rebel Radio. I'm Desmond Richards. Stay tuned. Yes.
I feel like dancing.
I feel like dancing.
I feel like singing.
I feel like singing.
I feel like shouting.
I feel like shouting.
I feel like clapping.
I feel like clapping.
He placed my feet.
He placed my feet
upon a solid rock.
upon a solid rock.
Upon a solid rock.
Upon a solid rock.
I feel like dancing.
I feel like dancing.
Always! From now until Christmas, big discounts and super bargains. Hey, up to 25% off. 20% off UPVC French windows. 10% off tiles. Decorative hardboard. $1,999. Bargains on slat wall, form ply, dress fly, lumber, steel, and lots more. Open every Sunday until Christmas. 195 Hackleburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New budget supplies. Always the best prices.
Here with a message to you from myself and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Shen Yangs, everyone say wear a mask where the numbers drop. I don't want COVID, lay you down flat. Nose and mouth you fi cover up that. Oh oh, oh oh, sanitizer get hospitalized. Fight the virus and fight for your life, yeah. Nobody talk about say you no response no more. Don't be reckless, cause you test us so you're not happy. You can still get the virus from somebody. Don't be reckless, cause you test us so you're not happy. You can still get the virus. So keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
Kevin Famous I represent DJ Ravers. Play music and lock the street. Cause some boy wake.
Many did try but couldn't steal my honey. Many did try but couldn't get your love. Some fool did try to trick her with his money. Turn around and wonder what she is made of. She just loves this groovy little thing we got going with. Many did try but couldn't steal my honey. Many did try but couldn't get your love. Some fool did try to trick her with his money. Turn around and wonder what she is made of. She just loves this groovy little thing we got going. It will last as long as her heart's so beating. She just loves this groovy little thing we got going. It will last as long as her heart's so beating.
Let it play. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Supervisor, think I'm gonna wrap the whole in sick. Can't leave my woman like this now. There's one thing I can't stand, is leaving you so early in the morning. This 9 to 5 I have is surely getting to me. For the third time this week, I think I'm gonna have to call in sick. If I leave you now, I'll be losing my mind. I hope we never get tired.
Let it play. Yeah.
Kevin Famous I represent DJ Ravers. Play music and lock the street. Cause some boy wake.
Yeah, I said I know first is in this bus. I represent for time and Ravers.
Hey, Mr. Supervisor, think I'm gonna have to call in sick now. this 9 to 5 I have is surely getting to me. Na, 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 na. For the third time this week, I think I'm gonna have to call in sick. If I leave you now, I'll be losing my mind. Na, 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 na. I hope we never get tired, and I never have to go to work. No one knocking on the door, disrespecting the no disturb song. No baby crying, and the no horn blowing. Just the whisper of our voices all day long. Na, 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 na. I made
The station with the artist station with the artist music.
when I look in your eyes, baby, I see clear as a morning sun. I gotta take some more time off and give you extra fun. Na na na, how you like it? And I hope you never get tired, and I never have to go to work. No one knocking on the door, disrespecting the no disturb sign. No baby crying, and the no horn blowing. It's the whisper of our voices all around. That's it. Now ain't it good to know that after so long years we can all come together, share each other's views, yes. Now ain't it good to know, aren't you feeling excited, yes? Was the joy in me ignited when I heard the news, yeah. That no shot, no buzz, and then no one no fuss, oh. And then the fire no burn, no, and no blood no run. Say no shot, no buzz, no, and then no one no cuss, oh. And then the fire stop burn, oh, and the blood stop run, oh. Oh gosh, now all is united, there's no room for fighting, so let's just organize. Now all is united and you are invited to share this paradise. Now ain't it good to know that after so many years, yes, we can walk the streets and go where we wanna go. Wouldn't it be good to know that some old time enemies, yes, cease fire and let the beauty start a show? And then no shot, no bust, and then no one no curse, oh. And then the fire no burn, oh, and the blood no run. Say no shot, no bust, no, and then no one no fuss, oh. Fire no burn, oh, and the blood no run. Some things were meant to be, so why not let it be? And stop worrying about it. Long as we know what's in our hearts, we know we're in our thoughts. Hey, no reason for concern. No. They're gonna talk, they're gonna talk, they're gonna talk, they're gonna say a lot of things about us.
Kevin Famous, I represent DJ Ravers. Be a musical love the same. Cause some boy, wait.
Some things were meant to be, so why not let it be? And stop worrying about it. Long as we know what's in our hearts, we know we're in our thoughts. Hey, no reason for concern. No. They're gonna talk, they're gonna talk, they're gonna talk, they're gonna say a lot of things about us. Said you know that love is not a sin, but you worry what the people say when they see me with you, and wonder what the crowd will say when they find us together. Yes, wonder what the people say when they know we're in love. Worry what the crowd will say. Hey, hey, hey. You pass them on the street, yes. when we see me with you. Wonder what the promises when they find us together.
Island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your eat.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up
Where will we go when the quarantine thing done and everybody touch road? Mommy, me gonna start pull up in a fast car, yeah, and a fast start make you want the fast part, yeah. I know you're feeling me, you know I'm feeling you. So what now we feel do, yeah. Hey fancy, oh your heart state, now no vacancy. Last time see you on FaceTime, chatting up the place bout you know my relationship. Me I go put you on lockdown, I put your body on lockdown. You got me on lock now. You got my person on lock. Oh, if you love me, you should let me. You should let me. You should let me know. And if you don't know, better feel let me. Better feel let me. I better you let me go. Pulling up, pulling up, pulling up. Nobody deal with the bagel and talking. Me nothing now. We are chilling in an apartment. Hope you don't mind me asking, where will we go? Quarantine thing done and everybody touch road. Mommy, me gonna start pull up in a fast car, yeah, and a fast start make you want the fast part, yeah. I know you're feeling me, you know I'm feeling you. So what now we feel do, yeah. Say you want travel, we go Hope Valley. Say you hope in your love and not just no tally. Make my heart full of some love you totally. Do my own thing, I'm in no trouble nobody. I'm watching out on the patio. And they didn't hear by them I watch me now. Swing on me no miss like Pacquiao. What you feeling for hot coffee, yo? What you know, what you know. All you want talk but how much you money. Yeah, anything you want, coffee got the money. Yeah, me give you my heart, make you take it from me. Where will we go? Where will we go? When the quarantine thing done and everybody touch road. Where we go road now. Mommy, me gonna start pull up in a fast car, yeah, and a fast start make you want the fast part, yeah. I know you're feeling me, baby. You know I'm feeling you, baby. So what now we feel do, yeah. Baby, are you feeling me? Cause I'm really feeling you. Baby, are you feeling me? Cause I'm really feeling you. I'ma pull up in my fast car. Pull up in my fast car. They say they're rock stars. Anytime you see me, I wanna lose my girl. Yeah, I miss a NPR style. Jamaica when I smile. No, sir. Ragamuffin reggae beat, yeah. NPR on the street, yeah. Can't stand on defeat. When it's 30, we still I do it. Every stage show, we still I keep. Every big song, they on repeat. Them a respond in a them feet. Them a clap hand. Me give them heart attack in my altar back. Enough style, we have them can't alter that. Me start to track and then me start attack. So what am I gonna do right after that? Me only spit lyrics, not really talk a lot. And I know touchdown like quarterback. For my counter, the money give me half of that. Me coulda do it for the hype, but me rather not. Give me joy for a rhyme pan beat. Lay it down like white line pan street. Music sweeter just like one cheat. They drop it hotter than island heat. Yeah, me with the island flow. It coulda be digital, I don't know. Yeah, some people say I don't know.
Thank you for joining us for this, the 51st.
Give me the rhythm, I chop it, I chop. When me finish, if it a drop. No some of us have a proper on that. But my name still on a platinum attack. The reggae music, it causing the commotion. And the music hit me, put me like a potion. Why? Alright, yeah. Me have the waves never stuck in the ocean. I got the style them smoother than a lotion. Why? Yeah, no. I know everybody got the keys, but me have it with my seat. Give Caesar what for Caesar. Give the youths them a feature. What I go on a Jamaica. Parliament run the paper. Forget the youths them na cater. That's why the country not safer. Here's to the guns them pride out here. You know no much make a smile out here. Here's to the youths them wild out here. Hey, money can't run for a mile out here. Here's to the government file out here. Get the tears down of an aisle out here. Me say youths in the last file out here. That's why them send for a child out here. Me humbling up but me hype on the beat. Look out for coffee me life on the street. Me a 5 feet but me sharp like teeth. Take off me name so my bar with the heat. Me take the heat and me melt to the ice. And a politician out with them sad pay price. If you 9 months out, no black beer nice. Cause any politician do not play nice. The reggae music it causing the commotion. And the music hit me, put me like a potion. Why? Alright, yeah. We have the waves never stuck in the ocean. And I got the style them smoother than a lotion. Why? Yeah, no. That's why me tell them fi second diet, yeah. Like a keckle, we culture strong like a leather pan Wally B with the cheddar lyrics. I shot like a Martin traffic a black when we at it. We not soft like no tissue, so ask them know what the issue. Hey, the reggae music it causing the commotion. And the music hit me, put me like a potion. Why? Alright, yeah. We have the waves never stuck in the ocean. And NPR style them smoother than a lotion. Why? Yeah, no. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just want to say thank you for having myself and my band for the very first time here at Tiny Desk. It's a great pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure for all of us. It's been a fairly short musical journey and we have seen fairly much success. So I give thanks and I want to thank everybody who's involved. You have now become a part of my journey, so thank you. Thank you. This next song is actually the title track of my very first project, my EP. So it's called Rapture. So I hope you enjoy it. Coffee coming like a rapture, yeah. Coffee coming like a rapture, and everybody get captured. Place it up like a helicopter. I want them see the lyrics on chapter. Coffee coming like a rapture, and everybody get captured. Place it up like a helicopter. Hey, say coffee hotting up the temperature for them see. Me know them mad me but friendly for enemy. Yo, I first me see people around me so plenty, but me pocket no empty. Me need space so large, yeah me. See them a watch me through a crack now. I do me everything for lockdown. Sitting in a the Bentley, picking in a the century. I drench me, but for me fire gun blaze on the same way. So me see the enemy a protest. Oh, and him could come the closest. No, I can feel still I do the most less. I want me to put in the work and just to process. Oh, yes, I saw we grind. No, I coffee with the prime time flow. Time for we accumulate the kinds. I know I'm say that give me signs like whoa, coffee coming like a rapture, and everybody get captured.
Yes. Welcome back, my listeners and viewers. And we are off to a late start for Workers' Time. You know, this is where we examine what is happening at the workplace. And this afternoon we have Mr. Clifton Grant from the UAW. Clifton, how are you? Hello? Clifton, unmute your mic now. Yes, this is, as I said, where we deal with workers' issues. And we talk to all the players in the both the workers and we have Mr. Lloyd Dagelar, too, a well-known journalist and public commentator. He'll be joining us for this section. Lloyd, are you there? I don't. All right, while we sort out our players, as I said, we have Mr. Clifton Grant from the UAW and Lloyd Dagelar, public commentator and well-known journalist. And we'll be discussing what is happening at the workplace. You know, last 2 weeks ago, the sub-union signed off on the Memorandum of Understanding with the Ministry of Finance. But all is not well over there either. Do we have Mr. Grant and Mr. Dagelar now? Let us take a break and find out what is happening to them, because I don't know why we are not talking. Gentlemen, are you there?
When them see the lyrics contractor, coffee come in like a raptor, and everybody get captured. Play sleep up like helicopter. When them see the lyrical doctor, tell them to give me no limit. No, them say coffee, but you a whole midget, girl. But when me spit lyrics, me don't fidget with it. Sure did it, goal with it, like me goal dig it, bro.
Give her the mic and give her 4 minutes, yeah. And just listen while she flow lyrics, yeah. Coffee and the coffee, me said no gimmick. She a pro with it, treat the rhythm like she grow with it. Watch out.
Me too profound, kill them with the verbs and with the pronouns. When me come around, lift up the whole town. Anyone me show up is a shutdown, yeah.
Sister coffee with the goal, sounds pain town, picnic, pick up the whole town. Somebody quick give her the gold crown, full of beer, diamond and gold stone. See ya.
Coffee come in like a rapture, and everybody.
I think we have both gentlemen on here now. Mr. Lloyd Dagelar.
I'm here.
Yes, are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, I'm hearing you, Lloyd. Good afternoon, Lloyd.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes. So, Clifton, let me start with you. This because I happen to know that although the memorandum of understanding has been signed, all is not well, because some of the workers who are supposed to be paid this month are not going to get their increases this month at all. I understand that the government has offered them a $100,000 loan. Are you aware of this, Clifton?
Well, I can just put my comment in this way. The memorandum of understanding, we have not signed on to it.
Yeah, I know.
And it turned out to be a memorandum of misunderstanding.
Yes.
Because in November, the issue came up after my colleagues signed about recovering allowances paid to the workers from April until now. And the ministry put out a statement that they have no intention of recovering any allowance paid. Only that over the weekend on Saturday, a circular came out saying that the allowances will be recovered, and that caused a serious stir. I saw a statement from the president of the Jamaica Civil Service Association saying that this was not what they bargained for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they bargained for, but I know what I am not bargaining for and what I will not sign to.
Mhm.
And I told the ministry official in one certain term that here is it, at a point you want to introduce a completely new pay system. So you're surrendering the old system and putting a completely new system. I think all the time necessary needed for us to sit down and go through all the details so that the people who the system is going to treat one way or the other, that they know exactly what's coming.
Mhm.
At this point, I don't think the persons who sign can explain it to their members what they signed to, because it is now coming clear that what the government said, nobody can hold the government, take the government word in any way serious. Because if in November you say you're not going to do something, in December when the payment time approaching, you say that we have to recover in serious stir in many quarters.
Yeah.
And we are hoping that good sense will be prevail and the government
Yeah, but I heard
stick to their commitment to the workers, that they will not recover these allowances paid, because anyhow they do this, all this big and grand announcement that your Christmas is going to be one of the best Christmas, is not going to become very sour grape in the mouth of the workers whose expectation have been way up in terms of what was communicated to them and what they will be receiving, and therefore they're making plans around this bonus.
Yeah.
And I have always said to them that Santa Claus comes once per year, but thereafter the reality set in.
Yes.
But this year, no Santa Claus will be appearing for the workers if the government intention to recover the allowance paid. No Santa Claus will be appearing for the workers, and come next year, this whole compensation system, Desmond and Lloyd, is turning out to be a big mess, because we did not use the time to do the necessary work to make sure that when we sign, we have a document that we can explain to the workers. We have all the salary skills. That's how I know negotiation go. Decades I have been in this thing. And when it comes to money, there are certain things. The salary skills must be presented and I sign off on it. And the date of implementation must be presented and I sign off on it. The salary skills presented is not reflecting what I negotiate and I'm not signing into it.
Yes.
But apparently some of my colleagues get caught up into a web that I don't know how they're going to come out of it. But the UAW stand in principle that we represent people, and represent people we must represent to the best of our ability and be honest and fair to them. And I think what happened in this process here is a rush, and that rush is ace become waste. That's the comment I want to make.
Yeah.
Initially.
Well, I read a statement from the Minister of Finance when that matter came up first. The minister came out and denied it, saying, "Oh no, that won't happen." So I can't understand how the ministry. You said the ministry has put out a statement. I mean, contradicting what the minister said. That's what you are saying?
I don't know what's going on in this one, but it is not looking good. And the persons getting hurt in this is the workers who they led to believe that they were going to see a bright Christmas.
Yeah. Lloyd, what is your take on what is happening here with the workers and the government?
Well, you know, I and the public don't have all the details of what's going on, the inner negotiations and so on.
Yes.
So we can only make general comments on what we hear and what we read in the newspapers. The trade union leaders have more inside information than we do. However, from my perspective, it seems to me like a divide and conquer strategy is being used by the government, by negotiating with the public sector workers and so on. Whereas the unions have not come together and say, well, look, we are all agreed on this payment package and so on. And so that the government is able to play one against the other. And that weakens the ability of the workers overall to get what it is that they really want to do. So I would like to suggest that in a situation like this, rather than the government negotiating with one union or another union and so on, that the unions must come together first, and the unions must discuss, what it is that they want, so that they negotiate with the government on a united basis. That is very, very important. Otherwise, it's a divide and conquer strategy. And if, let us say, 3 out of 5 unions agree on a package, then the 2 who didn't agree are going to be left on the outskirts of the negotiation process, and the balance in the scale is going to be against them. If the rest of the workers are saying, yes, this is what we have signed on, etc., and 1 union or 2 unions are against it, then you now have to come up with the power to be able to tip the balance in your favor. So it's a very difficult situation, and I am really encouraging unions and workers to get together, sit down, and come up with a workers' plan. That is very necessary.
Yeah. Mr. Grant, the last time we spoke, you told me and our listeners and viewers that those unions which did not sign are preparing a letter for the ministry, for the minister. Now, how far, where are we with that? Mr. Grant? Yeah.
I was muted, so we can just bring Lloyd into the loop politically in terms of how we have been operating.
Yes.
The Confederation of Trade Union, Lloyd, got 11 unions inside the Confederation of Trade Union. And the concept of central bargaining is not the first time. We have signed a few agreements over the years. Dwight Nelson led at one time, Lloyd Goodley and the others led the process with different ministers at different stages, Omar Davis and Audley and so forth. So this is not the first time we are entering into central bargaining. So all 11 unions of the Confed signed on this time to this process. And last year, the process started last year because of a 2-year cycle and we serve a claim. We entered into discussion last year, and the compensation review should have been implemented from last year. But because of the COVID pressure on the budget, the government said they can't afford it. So we signed off on an interim arrangement where the workers receive a 4% last year and a 40,000. And we all signed on to it as a confed. So come the minister give the undertaking that come this year, the compensation review will be implemented. And so we started the discussion as a confed with 11 unions in around March or end of February, March. So the discussion has been going on for some time. But along the way, the process was derailed. Up to September, we were on key. All the documents were shared, and we were all negotiating together. And documents prepared in terms of what could be a possible agreement, and the different unions submit their proposals for the process to continue. In early November, we met as a confed board and agree on the following. One is that the confed leadership would request a document from the government, bringing the process to setting out all the items as to where we are in the process in terms of each item. And when we receive that, then we will meet as a confed to go through it to make sure that what we have been discussing is what reflected in the document. Only that the process was derailed after that meeting. Because that meeting didn't take place, we didn't receive the document. We only learned days after that some of our colleagues went secretly and signed. When we signed last year the interim agreement, it was a public signing. I was there, I signed on behalf of the UAW and other union leaders, so it was public. So for some of our colleagues to go privately and sign with the government, it is really what you said, like divide and rule. And that set the base for some other unions to go and sign some secretly after too. And come to your point, Desmond. Some of the unions who did not sign, they gone and signed quietly too. And I don't know what's going on. But UAW stand on principle, and we will not go privately and sign with anybody on behalf of the people we represent. So that letter has not been drafted, and the person who is appointed to draft the letter, that person went and signed. Those of us in the discussion didn't know that the person was going to sign. So the union, let me say now, the union movement is at a juncture where if we're not careful, all the sacrifice made by Shearer, former Prime Minister Michael Manley, Light Goodley, Dobson, all those persons, Dwight Nelson. If we're not careful, Rex Neckelford was the one who would negotiate with the Norwegian to have the Confederation of Trade Union location where it is now, funded by a lot of funds pumped into it. Mm-hmm. And we are the current trade unionists. I don't think we are protecting the legacy of the union movement. We have achieved a lot over the years. The workers have made tremendous sacrifice. Some shed blood, some lose life. But the union leaders, I don't know what's going on. But the UAW, we start off with certain principle, and we're not backing off of that. And we're not allowing anybody to draw us into any network that is not in the interest of the workers.
But let me ask you a question, though. The Confederation of Trade Unions, what is really the structure? What is the democratic, let us call it the democratic structure? If, for example, as you are saying, some signed when the negotiations are not being completed, etc., are you now in a position to call an emergency meeting of the Confederation to say, look, what is going on now is not in the interest of the workers generally, and we need to have a discussion? Are you in a position to do that?
Right. I would say all this structure set up. We have a president, and we have vice presidents, and we have general secretaries and assistant general secretaries. The meeting, it's possible to convene a meeting, but it's a willingness of everybody to come together. And even since this development over the weekend, we have been trying to see if we can get the person in the leadership position who authorized to convene meeting to draft a response to that circular that's sent out to recover money from the workers. And we're not getting that. So that's why I'm saying here, we are really in a very embarrassing situation, right? And I don't know what's going on in my colleague's head. But Lambert Brown and myself and the UAW leadership, we stand on principle. And if we are the only one on the battlefield protecting the interests of the workers, we are going to do that.
Well, let me just say that one of my concerns about trade unionism in Jamaica, over the years, is that the lack of democracy in these unions. I mean, I used to read that the NWU is having a congress, an annual congress, or the BITU. You never hear anything more about an annual congress, or whether it's 2 years or whatever it is. You never hear that anymore. And so I am beginning to get the impression that the leadership of the trade unions have really taken over and there's really very little democracy within the trade union movement. So that the leadership in most of these unions are permanent. They are not, the workers don't decide, well, your term is 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is. And so we're going to have a discussion and move forward again. To me, that is a very serious deficiency in the trade union movement and needs to be addressed.
Lloyd, I took note of your points, and that is a concern of ours. We have not had a conference for a few years now, and there are a number of reasons that show towards the timeline. Because we normally meet every 3 years, and we were planning just before the COVID to really restore the full democracy in the union and COVID threw it out. But come the new year, we are going to really restore all the organs of the union to make sure that the workers who really put us there really participate and can renew the leadership as they go along. The conference, we had a conference about 3 or 4 years ago. The conference is through now, and at the conference, people are elected. All the members union of the Confed participate in the process. That's how I get to be as an assistant general secretary. But the president was elected and the vice presidents were elected by the members union. Mm-hmm. But we need to address that. And up to the last meeting we had, that was on the agenda in terms of when in the new year we will restore the Confed. Structure in terms of having the conference, so that the member unions and their membership can decide who lead the Confed going forward. That is not something that we have ignored, Lloyd. But and we have not ignored it, because we know that is the central point of ensuring that we have an organization going forward where the members who pay the dues, they really have a say in the running of the union and who lead it at any junction.
Clifton, it is not so much of a secret, the last union that I saw, because I read it in the papers, and that is UTASP. Mm-hmm. UTASP is the union that I saw was the last union to attach its signature to the document. I don't know if it's for all categories of workers represented by the union, I've been trying to get the president to really explain it, but I have not succeeded. But it is, as you said, it is a question, it is a subject that needs to be clarified, because I know that the last week, the president was on this program, and he was very, very upset with the fact that some unions went and signed the agreement. So I don't know what happened between then and now. I don't know what happened. But the other thing is that you had indicated that a letter was being prepared for the minister, and here we are now. One other union, one of the major unions, has gone ahead and signed. Have you had any discussion with the UTASP leadership since then?
No, I have not. But I know one of my colleagues who have not signed. Yeah. Try to reach out to him, but the communication seems to not linking up. So, yeah. But let us say something. Yeah, I agree. There's that UTAS went and signed, and for those of us who were in that group of not signing, went and signed, and we learned it through the newspaper. So this, like, I can't agree with you more. We have surrendered ourselves to allow those who in power to divide the union movement, and it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, and we are not going to hold back in talking when the opportunity comes for us to talk. Just like I am talking now, the union movement need to pull up them socks and recognize and appreciate that what's going on now, this is not what the workers signed up for. And we must, if we don't respect ourselves, we must respect the persons who elect us and put us into leadership to lead them.
Mhm.
Because when all come next week, I'm expecting if the government don't take some drastic emergency action to simmer the tide, it is going to be a sad Christmas for a lot of workers.
So
when they were prepared and motivated that they are going to spend the happiest Christmas in many decades.
Yes.
You know, because the social issues are even more than just the salary, the rate of salary that you're getting. Because there's so many things that are going on that you need a worker's input or working class input into policies being taken by the government. And so therefore you need a structure where if it's not about wages, but it is about something else that is going to negatively affect the workers, that they must be in a position to say to the government, listen, we're not signing on to that. I don't want to sound political, but we don't agree with a state of emergency, or we don't agree with, or we believe that you're not funding education in the way in which you should fund it. And so our children are suffering because we don't have money to send them to tertiary institutions or high schools and so on and so forth. And we don't agree with that. I believe that you need the trade union movement to come together in that sort of sense. So it's more than just negotiating over a wage increase, which might still not really satisfy them. It may increase them by a 5% or a 10%, but that's still not going to lift them out of the situation, the difficult situation that they find themselves in. So I believe that we need a kind of radicalization of the trade union movement. And we have to begin to see that the working class in this country have a duty to begin to participate in social issues, political issues, etc., etc. I mean, that is what I'm suggesting and advocating.
Is that a question of? It's not a question of us just doing wage negotiation, but a serious breakdown. We from the Confed perspective, the leadership of the Confed usually have regular meeting with up to the level of the Prime Minister. So we have structured in place and avenue and forum in place in order to do things outside of just wage. Because if you look on the agreement we signed over the years, not only confined to wage, it has health, social protection issues, health insurance, the question of education in terms not only of the workers themselves but workers' children. So there's a number of agreements there outside of just wage. It's for us as union leaders to make sure we continue to build on what we have inside here. One of the things that we raise serious objection to is that a number of the items that we negotiated over the years. This Minister of Finance produced a document saying that he want to roll some of them into salary, and he want to eliminate some. And one of it that is causing major stories, the whole question of the government inability to provide the tools for workers to carry their job. So we came up with some protection in order to ensure that the workers can carry them work.
Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant,
yes.
Hold your thought. Just hold your thought. We're going to take a short break. Don't move.
No problem.
Yes. Well,
Guys, from now until Christmas, big discounts and super bargains. Hey, up to 25% off. 20% off UPVC French windows. 10% off tiles. Decorative hardboard. 1,999. Bargains on slat wall, form ply, dress ply, lumber, steel, and lots more. Open every Sunday until Christmas. 195 Hackleburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New budget supplies.
Yes. Welcome back to Rebel Radio, and we are discussing the issues facing the workers. And before you resume your comment, this negotiation was supposed to be one of the things that came out early was that this negotiation was one of the strong points of it was that no worker was going to be worse off. Now, based on what has been agreed so far, the workers are going to get 17.5% over 3 years. Those at the bottom, while those at the top and are going to be getting somewhere in the region of 165% over the 3 year period. And
probably greater.
And okay. And then what is going to happen? Remember that the ministers and MPs, they are going to be part of the upper echelons. So this agreement is that some of the beneficiaries are going to be laughing to the bank. Certainly the top civil servants, members of parliament and ministers of government, while the vast majority of the workers are going to be left in a position where they find themselves sucking salt through wooden spoons.
And Desi, you're totally correct. We could have received much more out of this negotiation. The last negotiation they signed off on 4 years, the UAW did not sign because we think that the workers could have received better deal. And it happened a second time where we short circuit the process and leave a number of workers not going to be better off at the end of the day. Because when you're talking about, I was just learning over the weekend, because the question of 17.5% over 3 years, we have been asking that question from day one, what it means in terms of year one. And the first time we learned how much persons should get in year one is 7.5%, and then 5% in second year, and 5% in third year. How can you, in an inflation environment that is running over 10%, and you say you want to make workers better off and give them less than inflation? Not to speak about the cost of living, because the cost of living is something totally different from the inflation. But the inflation is kind of the base that we use to determine whether or not you put person in a position to restore their purchasing power. But when you give public sector workers 7.5% and the inflation is 10.5%, what you're saying to them? You're not placing them in a better position. And that's a serious breach of the ILO convention, which said that workers, at the end of negotiation, workers must be better off.
But let me play the devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
Is it that what you're describing is happening because the trade union movement is divided along party political lines? In other words, if my trade union is aligned to the government by virtue of the political party, then I am going to go along with them because I want to support the government that is in power. And so the trade unions, the workers are divided along political party lines. And if there's an election tomorrow and another government comes into power, that the unions who are aligned to that political party are now going to flip and do what they were accusing the other union of doing when their party was in power and now do the same thing, because we all know that government, there was a Mocha was, talking about corruption the other day. And they were saying that $750 million is siphoned off each year to the corrupt political establishment, public sector, official establishment, so that there never is sufficient money to take care of the needs of the workers and the needs of the people generally. So I'm putting that to you. Isn't it a fact that the unions, one of the divisions within the union movement is political party division?
I don't know. No, that's party politics. Since I have been in the movement and in the Confederation of Trade Union, party politics has never played a role. Dwight Nelson led the central bargaining on behalf of the Confederation. Listen me out.
I know, but let me just stop you there. I'll just ask you one simple question. Is Mr. Lambert Brown, who's the head of the UAW, a member of the People's Political Party and a representative in the Senate? Is he or is he not?
But that go without saying. Up to last week, Lambert was standing in the parliament. But I can say to you, whether Labour Party or PNP in power, Lambert stand on principle. When Portia Simpson was the Prime Minister, we went to Jamaica House to sign. And that signing held up for over an hour because Lambert Brown stand up because he didn't agree with something that was going on.
So why doesn't he quit the
PNP? So from the UAW perspective, we have never allowed politics to motivate how we act on behalf of the workers.
So why doesn't
I can't speak for other unions, but after the UAW, from Dr. Monroe days right up, we have always stand for principle.
But my question is, why doesn't Lambert Brown quit being a member of the PNP and being in the Senate?
Why he should do that? When he's in the parliament, the workers, I was saying, if you listen to his submissions from time to time, acting on behalf of the workers, why should we withdraw from a forum where the workers' voice can be strengthened? Whether the PNP in power or the JLP in power, the unions need to have some persons in the parliament who act on behalf of the workers. Albeit I can't say that all my colleagues who went in the parliament play that role, but I know that Lambert is doing that, and Cavan to some extent is putting the workers' agenda in the discussions.
So Cavan is not aligned to the JLP, and Lambert is not aligned to the PNP.
They are aligned, but they are trade unionists, and I listen to their debate in the parliament when it come up to issues that are going to affect workers, and party line not coming into it. So Cavan came out last week and said too much contract employment going on. That is not protecting the party. That is protecting the interests of the workers.
So why be a member of the political party then? Why not be independent? Why not seek representation from an independent perspective?
Lied, I can't answer those questions.
When last has Mr. Lambert Brown been elected as president of the UAW? When last was he ever elected?
Let me say something. No? I have said certain thing earlier that both Lambert and I were elected at the same time. Whereas there are some challenges that cause us not to have the union conference as regular as we want. But as I said earlier, this is something that we are going to restore in the new year. So I don't want us to get into a debate about politics and that. I want to stand up a debate on where are we in terms of when we're in any position, who we speak on behalf. We speak on behalf of political party or we speak on behalf of the people. And that is, I think Lambert has demonstrated that whether PNP or JLP in power.
Well, a lot of people are going to be convinced by what you just said. Because
I'm not trying to convince anybody. I just want to speak the truth.
Yeah, well, that is your perspective, but we will see it a different way. And
and that's your constitutional right, to see nobody's saying that when anybody making a statement, they expect everybody to agree. But once you exercise your constitutional right to express yourself, then that is your right. Nobody can take that away from you.
Yeah, well, I still maintain that the working class, the trade union movement need to be independent of the political parties because their relationship is undermining the strength of the trade union movement. I remember it was in the 1980s that they had the first general strike since 1938. And that general strike lasted one day. And it lasted one day because the government in power, at the time it was the JLP, was able to say to the BIT, listen man, you can't do that. And they gave up, and that was the end of it. We have only had one general strike since 1938. And there have been so many issues, including wages, social issues, political issues, human rights issues, that the trade union movement have been silent on and have not taken a position that advocates and encourages workers' independence in this country.
But Lloyd, there's one. Lloyd.
I would say to you, Lloyd, that you have a point, but that do not say that is because of politics make any union leader act a certain way. I don't know what motivates anybody to, but I'm speaking on behalf of the UAW, and the UAW is where I stand in terms of, from in the 70s, I have associated with UAW, and we always stand on principle, regardless of which party in power.
And Lloyd, the other thing that you must remember, you have to put in that analysis, is that the political parties, the trade union. Yes, the trade union movement is what is the father of the political parties in the Caribbean, not just in Jamaica, the Caribbean. So I understand the point you are making, but then what you are calling for, that would take a serious severance, because the trade unions were before the political parties, and they were most of the political parties in the Caribbean, in the English-speaking Caribbean. They were formed by people who had connections with the trade union movement. So those two organizations are working together, and I can see the point that you are making, that there's a need for some independence, but that is something that is going to require a lot of debate.
Well, it was
Desmond, I can just add something here, Desmond. Sorry, lad.